You're listening to Morning Edition on this Tuesday here on WCBU. I'm Rich Drager. Plans for a $29 million 48-unit permanent supportive housing development on Peoria's south side are moving forward after the City Council gave its initial approval last week. The Phoenix Manor residential complex at the site of the demolished Harrison School on Krause Avenue would offer apartments to families currently experiencing homelessness. Mayor Rita Ali has been a staunch supporter of the project. In her latest regular interview with WCBU, Ali tells reporter Joe Deacon why she sees it as a critical step in efforts to revitalize the South Side.
Well, one, it adds more population, more housing to the area, which is in desperate need of housing. We've seen a loss of housing in that area and really all of the South Side just because we lack quality, affordable housing in that area. And so this is an exciting new opportunity, a $20 million investment in South Peoria, and I'm very proud of it. The fact that it will provide permanent housing to the unhoused population makes me even more proud. Many of the individuals will have come originally from the south side of Peoria.
The complex is in Denise Jackson's district, and she's been vocal in her opposition, saying it's not the right economic fit for an already impoverished area, and the current infrastructure won't be able to support it. How do you respond to those concerns?
Well, she's an ally of mine. We work together very well. We've worked hard for the south side of Peoria, and we just disagree on this point. I don't agree that the south side should not have any more poor people, and we work with those people. We're going to have workforce development opportunities for the people living in affordable housing sites on the south side to try to skill them up and get them connected to employment opportunities. So NIMBYism is not something that's in my DNA, and that's anywhere in the city of Peoria. Not in my backyard, doesn't fit well. And I just think that this is a type of project that gives an opportunity and hope to people. And again, serves our greater purpose of repopulating the South Side so that we can sustain the grocery and the pharmacy and the retail.
So as far as you know, what is the timeline for the Phoenix Manor project to get full approval, start construction, and how soon can we see people moving in?
Yes, so we have to have state approval by December, and that's one reason why we had to accelerate this process because of state requirements and their timelines with Illinois Housing Development Authority. So we're looking to break ground next year.
How high of a priority do you see is revitalizing the South Side? What else needs to happen?
It's a big priority. We have a South Side revitalization plan that was approved by Illinois Housing Development Authority. It calls for more affordable housing in the area. It calls for, getting housing, improving the infrastructure. It calls for attracting more commercial development. And that's what we're going to do. This plan was developed with stakeholders, with residents, with neighborhood organizations, with community-based organizations that are based right in the south side of Peoria. So the plan was developed with inclusion of the people who actually live there. And it's a good plan. And we've seen so much more investment in the south side of Peoria over the past 5 years, and it's a fact. We've Churchview Gardens housing development. We're going to see a new development on MacArthur with MacArthur Flats coming. That's for 55 and older population. I think that's going to be wonderful. MacArthur is still all torn up because it's being rehauled and redeveloped, and it's going to be a commercial corridor.
You're listening to WCBU Reports. I'm Joe Deacon, talking with Peoria Mayor Rita Ali. Madam Mayor, not long ago, the city approved the developer's plans to redevelop the Main Street side of the Madison Theater building with 3 restaurants and a boutique hotel. How do you see this project as re-energizing downtown and spurring future development, and what are your hopes for the future of the Madison Theater itself?
It's a very historic building. I have special memories there. It has great potential, the theater itself. The fact that we're bringing a part of that historic facility to life again with the restaurants, I think it's wonderful. I know that the intention is to include the theater itself at some point, but that's going to take a lot of fundraising and some people championing that effort. But I think it is part of our great bigger plan to make Main Street again, to give it life again. We have some infrastructure money. And, we've been meeting with our legislators. We've been meeting with our lobbyists to get that money released so that we can really put our our roots down in terms of that infrastructure development.
And the city is looking to develop a TIF along the West Main Corridor, if I'm not mistaken, as well, right?
Yes, which will support, of course, the extended Bradley campus in terms of retail and housing. And I'm excited about that. So it's not just the central business district and not just the waterfront area. It's all the way from Water Street to Farmington Road, which includes Bradley University.
Plans for the Galena Road Industrial Park are progressing steadily. How critical is a business park of this nature to Peoria's long-term economic health?
I think that it will attract tax-paying industries. And these are the kind of industries that typically take up a lot of space. They're the type of industries that manufacture things, that need warehouse space, and that are tax-paying companies. So I think attracting this type of business to this area will help us financially and hopefully, provide a great space for a company to grow and build its future right here in Peoria.
Talking about developments that need a lot of space, a month ago I asked City Manager Patrick Urick if Peoria has been contacted at all as a potential location for a data center, and he said basically no, not really. What is your personal stance on data centers?
I will say, that most of that input comes from working with Greater Peoria Economic Development Council. They've kind of been part of our economic arm for attracting new businesses. And, there's these site seekers that, seek locations for data centers. And over time, there has been some interest in Peoria, but we just have not had the capacity. This has happened over the last couple years that I've heard of. When there's been interest, we have really not had the capacity. So,
when you say capacity, do you mean grid capacity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I mean grid capacity. So again, it's a very politically charged issue with data centers, but it doesn't look like we'll be entertaining data centers in Peoria anytime soon.
That was Peoria Mayor Rita Ali speaking with Joe Deacon for WCBU Reports. Find more of their conversation at WCBU.org. You're listening to Morning Edition here on WCBU, Peoria Public Radio, part of the NPR network.